So, describe your career journey from where you started from and where you are now.
Well, that's a very interesting and long story. um, I started working at this company that offered me a job for the minimum wages, $4 an hour. And I was so thrilled and happy that I could have a job. I didn't care. I mean, supposedly I should have been making a lot of money, but I wasn't. But I didn't care. So I started in this company and I worked for 5 years there. And I was the only, like, two people in accounting, and I was doing some accounting work, very basic for my knowledge and experience and expertise.
But let me interrupt you. Before going to that company, you were finding or looking for a job, and it was not easy to find it because the lack of communication. And she worked for free. Tell that story before you just jump into that normal job that you get your first.
Well, no one will give me a job because I didn't speak
language.
English.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I went to this gentleman that had a small office of accounting and income taxes, and I asked him if he'd give me the opportunity to work for free. And he was like, no one works for free here in the United States. What do you mean? And I'm like, yes, I just want to work. I just want to learn. I just want to be in an office. I could do a lot of stuff. I have the knowledge. You don't have to pay me. And then he reluctantly agreed. Mm-hmm. So I started to organize the files. And he asked me if I knew how to do work in a typewriter. And I said yes, and I never in my whole life touched a typewriter.
She learned right there.
So when he asked me that, I went every single day to the library in San Fernando, and they have typewriters. So I will be like trying to see what the letters were, and so anyway, I went to his office every day, and I will do filing. Folders, name folders, put papers in here, put everything in the alphabet, clean folders and things like that. And one of my jobs was to do a typewriter, the income taxes. Back then,
it was not a software to do taxes.
He will do the income taxes in a paper, and then in typewriter, I will just,
put it in there.
Put everything there. And I will see some of the calculations were wrong, like, this plus this doesn't go this minus this is not this number.
She was correcting him.
So I will go like, I think these things are wrong. He was like, yeah, those things are wrong. Oh, okay. So he started like, okay, maybe this lady actually kind of knows something.
She's talking about.
So I remember I worked there for about 2 weeks or so. And I worked for over a month, 2 months. Mm-hmm. But anyway, after the second week, he called me like a Saturday, and he said, "Hey, I have some money for you. I'm gonna pay you." And I'm like, "You're gonna pay me? We agreed that you were not gonna pay me." And he goes, "No, it's okay. I think you've been doing a good job, so I'm gonna pay you." I was ecstatic, like, what? I got money. I got paid. It was, I don't remember how much it was, probably very little. And I will go to an employment agency to ask for jobs and
for a better job.
Yeah,
trying to get better money.
And like someone working accounting, and they say, "No, call me every day," and I will call every day. So one day they go, "Hey, you know how to do bank reconciliations?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's so basic in accounting. This company needs someone temporary. Will you take the job?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So,
and that's the way she got the second job that she was describing before.
So I went to the interview. I remember sitting in the waiting. I say, my name is Gladys. I'm coming for an interview. And they said, "Okay, hold on. Someone is going to come and get you." And I was like, what am I doing here? They're going to talk to me. I don't know what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. I'm leaving. I'm looking at the door. It's open and closing, And I'm like, I should go. I should run. And I was like, I'm leaving. And someone called my name Gladys. And I'm like, yes, that's me. So anyway, this lady started, And I'm like, what is she talking about? She will take me to her office and keep blah, 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 and I will pick up a word here, a word there, blah, blah, blah. She will bring these papers and bank statements and things like that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I have no idea what she told me, but I saw the numbers, the bank statement. She gave me some samples, and I'm like, numbers, I know how to do these things.
Mm-hmm. So bank
So I went to my
reconciliation.
office,
started
my
doing it.
desk, and like for a couple of weeks, they were so behind. They have I don't know how many banks, how many statements. Anyway, the work was really, really behind. And in about 2 weeks, I had it all done, and she goes like, no one has ever been able to do this. And of course, I mean, for me, it was basic, first of all, and second, I didn't have anybody to talk to because I was afraid to even speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I will get to my job, look at the papers,
Work.
work,
Go home.
go home, and go the same thing the following day. So, and I start, hearing words and how people say things, and I will repeat them. I will go to my house and, oh, this is how they do this. Oh, this is how they do this. They ask me things, and sometimes I will I don't know what they ask me.
Did you have to carry around a dictionary with you? Because back then you couldn't just pull out your phone and have Google
No,
Translate
yeah.
and pull it up to someone's.
Just
No.
kind of wing it and kind of figure it out what they're saying to you. I remember
She was telling herself, fake it until you make it. Fake it until you
and I would just smile and say yes to everything. I had no idea, but anyway, I knew how to work. So I remember this lady came to, and I say, how are you? And she goes, peachy. And I'm like, I went to the dictionary, I couldn't find that. I was like, I don't know, is she insulting me? Is she okay? Is she not okay? Anyway, so that was horrible. I will get home and I will feel like a weight. It's on my shoulders every time I go to work, and I could take it off every time I go home because, I have to make so much effort to try to understand what they were telling me, translate it, think about what was I gonna say, translate it, trying to find the words. But anyway, so
and then doing your work.
do my work. But while I didn't need to talk, so I could do the job. And I remember the company started growing, and so they asked me if I wanted to work to the company instead of through the employment agency, and I'm like, yeah, and they paid me $4, and I was happy. And then because I was doing accounting, I knew they were paying like $16, $20 to the employment agency for my work when I only got paid $4, but I didn't care. I was happy I had a job. So little by little, the company started growing. I started learning more English, and then there were 2 people working, and then 3 people, 4 in accounting, and I knew how to do all the work, so the people were working under me, and there was a lot of pressure, and so I finally was able to tell them that I was an accountant, and there were so many things that were running the company. Anyway, I ended up working in the company for 5 years. I was the second in command after the owner.
The controller.
I was the controller of the company. I had my status, but it was a lot of work. It was not easy. I cried. I had to endure insults. I had
Run to the bathroom, look at the dictionary.
Yeah, looking for the peachy word. So some people in the yard will speak Spanish, and they will kind of translate me sometimes, and little by little, like things start trying to come up. I will only watch like the news in English. I will go to school, take English classes, and little by little, like kind of start learning. And then the opportunity from the State Farm came.
She didn't want to leave because she already built that status in that company from just an assistant going up through the good position as a controller in that department, in an accounting department. I asked her, it's an opportunity to go and be your own boss, to have your own business. And she said, but I don't want to do that. I just have my good job in here and I don't want to leave. And then I told her, but you're going to be doing the same for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Just consider to be your own boss, have your own business. I don't need that. Oh, okay, if you don't want to do it, can you help me out? And she just saw an opportunity with a State Farm and she told me, okay, I help you out. I continue my job and then you go over to State Farm. But State Farm, when she applied, they told her, you need to be the agent, nobody else.
So why did they want you to be the agent?
That's a good point, Amy. I didn't know, but back then, State Farm was had a lawsuit because they were not hiring a lot of women and minorities. They were all, insurance people were white, male, female. So when they saw us that I had a diploma, because you had to have a diploma, and was a minority, they
And
said
you were a woman.
so it was like an easier opportunity for me to become an agent than it was for Joaquin at the time.
So basically, you signed up for the job and you ended up getting the job.
Exactly, because I want to be having my own business and independent and all that. And she saw me that I was doing it, that I want that type of opportunity. And she just said, don't worry, I'll help you. I'll go and do all what it has to be done and we can work together. And then I just leave the job and you continue with the office. But State Farm told her, it's not that easy. If you apply and you're going to be the agent, it's you who has the responsibility. Then we worked together for 10 years, but you can tell her exactly how you find out the job and how you fill that blank and now.
So at the beginning, of course, it wasn't easy anyway, because I will come to the room with all the meetings and they were all males, white males, and I was pretty much the only Latino woman, and I got pregnant like a year into State Farm, so I will come to the meetings as a Latino woman, pregnant, and I feel so isolated, not because people were mean to me, but it's because I felt completely out of place. So I will sit down in the meetings in a place where like no one would even ask my name. I will go to the training meetings and I had no idea about insurance. I remember that was such a hard time because I could understand maybe like 65% of the things they were saying. They were training me, and so after the training, they would go to happy hour, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see you at happy hour. I had no idea what happy hour was.
She didn't go.
I just had to be in my room with a dictionary, actually, translating the words that, what is it that we talk about in the meeting, because the following day was going to be another long meeting. The trainings were like 1 week at a time in a hotel, in a place, and they were very intense. So I had to work a lot with my dictionary, with the words, trying to put all the words together. I could have just said, I'm done, forget it, but no, I didn't quit. Joaquin wouldn't let me quit. It was a lot to endure. It was hard. Some other agents would refer to me as the pregnant agent, and yeah, I was pregnant, or the Latino agent that didn't know anything, and I guess I was the Latino agent that didn't know anything. But you just have to keep going and endure when you want to say, the circumstances as they appear to you. Some people were mean. What are you gonna do? I mean, all I did was cry, and I cried. But other than that, I have to show up to work the following day and just keep pushing.
The most important is that she finished the training, we opened the office, and then we worked together for 10 years, and we built the office. We used to get out on Saturdays and Sundays with our children, with Enrique, my oldest, and Chris. And we went different places to inspect properties, take pictures, and that was our weekends. Working on weekends, trying to make a living. And that
So
we
it
combined
wasn't Monday through Friday. It was Monday through
Monday
Sunday.
to Sunday, and we started it all over again.
But we make it feel for the kids like, there was let's go for a field trip just to take a picture at Riverside, a house that we insure.
And we combine
Okay, let's go. So,
like vacation with work and or entertainment with work. And like that movie, that Life is So Beautiful, that his father, even though they were fighting and in a war there, he was telling his son that they will have a beautiful life, and it was not a difficult situation, even though their country they were fighting. But it's the same. We were fighting to make it, and then we were having pleasure and enjoying our life and the opportunity with our children, just going and take pictures. But at the same time, we go to the beach.
Was it hard? Was it a goal of your guys's to make sure that your kids were bilingual, and was that hard for you?
that's a good question. Yes, we wanted our kids to be bilingual, and it was hard because some of
tell the story about me. I give you permission.
Yeah, some of the harsh words you can say them in English. We didn't know them, so even though sometimes we want to be with our kids and telling them things were totally wrong, we couldn't find the words. So I ended up speaking in Spanish. So anyway, I remember Melody coming home. She was probably in the first grade or second grade, and she will speak in English, and we will answer in Spanish and say, no, you have to speak Spanish at home. You have to speak Spanish with your grandma, with us. And she was like, no, we're in America. We speak English. And I was like, I don't care. You're still Colombian. You have to speak Spanish. And she will be like, look, I have no words. The words are not coming out. She wanted to say like she didn't have any words in Spanish to communicate. So I remember that she's saying, I have no words. I have no words. Like they're not coming out. So it was hard because it's like, I mean, our English is not that great anyway, you guys could see, but we have to say things in English and Spanish so they could understand us, so they could push the Spanish. And there is a point in time like you don't want to do it anymore. It's like, okay, it's easy if I just kind of say to you in English and you understand me. But no, we keep on pushing and pushing, and we could see now that all our kids are totally bilingual, and we're very proud of that. They can speak in Spanish,
And write
but it was our goal, and it's not easy. So, but we made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is we told our children that in order to communicate with their grandparents when they come and visit us, they need to learn the basic Spanish to communicate with them. And that was the main reason we asked them, and we requested them to learn the basic Spanish, and they did it, and they speak it, they write it, and they also read it, speak it, and write it.
Mm-hmm. And the way you guys went about that was kind of like speaking a word in English and then re-speaking the phrase in Spanish, re-speaking the word in English, re-speaking the word in Spanish. So every sentence, it wasn't just like, here's my point and here's what I'm trying to say to my kids. It was, here's my point, here it is again.
Oh, like I say, Melody, come over here, vámonos, ven. Here's your food is ready, la comida está lista. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, this marks the end to the interview. And thank you so much for participating in this interview, and thank you for being honest and truthful, and thank you for taking time out of your day to participate. So
You're welcome.
I hope
Good luck
you
to
all
you.
enjoy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.